Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. I am James and you are watching Blue Dog Aquatics. Today we are talking about one of my favorite fish, and that is the black angelfish. Freshwater, by the way, not saltwater. These guys are absolutely amazing. But before we get into that, thank you to all the new subscribers. You guys are absolutely amazing. If you are new to this channel, tuning in for the first time, please hit that notification bell. Make sure to subscribe. It really does help out the channel, and we bring you videos like this each and every week. Now, angelfish, look at these guys. But before we get into this, I just want to show you. So this is a male-female pair. They're kind of grumpy because this tank decided to blow out on us. Thankfully, the fish weren't harmed, but they lost all their babies. So they're kind of mad at me, but you know, it is what it is. I'm just glad that they're safe, as well as our king tiger, our L333 down Plico down here. Now, the angelfish come from the tropical part of South America. A lot of them come from Asia, but anymore, these guys are captive bred. I don't see them imported a whole lot anymore unless they're some weird gene or weird morph. Size on these guys, so these guys aren't quite full adults. I would classify them as subadults. The size of these guys, typically they're about 6 inches long, and that is from their nose to their tail. And then they can be up to 8 inches tall, and that is counting from the bottom of their veil to the top of their veil. So lots and lots of space for these guys. The diet on these guys, they eat krill, they eat flakes, they eat bloodworms. If these guys are having babies, it's better to feed them frozen bloodworms, give them a richer diet. Man, I just cannot talk today. Lifespan is on average between 8 and 12 years. What are you doing? But they have been known to go to 15 years. Tank mates for these guys gets tricky. Now, you can have Corridoras, you can have Mollies, you can have Plicos, you can have Danios. Lots and lots of stuff with angels. However, when angels pair, like these two are here, they get kind of territorial, and they don't like anybody else in their tank. They will, even other angels, they will run them off, they will beat them up, they will pick on them. That's just a really cool picture there. So it gets tricky having angels with other fish. Now, the king tiger down here, he does just fine. He stays out of their way. They don't bother him. The snails, the mystery snails that are in here, they don't bother them at all. But the angels can be very protective over their young, which typically when they have young, I've seen them lay their eggs on the side glass. I've seen them lay them on rocks. They've laid them on plants. If you want to salvage the babies, I would recommend putting in like a piece of slate that you can remove in and out of the tank. Just makes it easier. I don't claim to be a breeder of angels. They just naturally pair up here in our store. And if you want more research on breeding angels, there are a lot of good people out there that actually breed these for a living. Now, aquarium size. So currently, these two angels are in a 40 breeder. And we're a little low on plants, but typically you want a heavily planted tank, you want driftwood in there, you want places for them to lay their babies, and then you want lots and lots of swimming area. These guys don't sit still or don't like to. For adults, I would recommend a 55-gallon or larger, and that's because they are so tall that they need the height in the tanks. So if you see, you see how their veil is up right here? A lot of times what I see when big angels come in, or I see some people with angels, their veil is actually kind of curved over, or just it's damaged, and it can happen because the angels are in too small of a tank and they are stressed and they flop it over, and it's just not good for the angelfish. So 55 gallon, I mean, you can have smaller tanks as they're growing up, but these guys grow pretty quickly. So, I mean, we typically, anytime we get angels, no matter what size they are, we put them in 40s, and then hopefully they're gone. But we actually do have another tank to put angels in if they do start growing bigger than the 40. Temperature on these tanks, you want to keep the aquarium about 75 to 84 degrees is ideal, especially for breeding. Parameters, angelfish like the low alkalinity, the softer water. We actually use reverse osmosis water in our aquariums, and especially with our angelfish. You can also have these guys in black water tanks. It's a perfect environment for them. And yeah, typically pH is about 6.5 to 7.5. These tanks currently are sitting about 7.2. So they're in a good range. The general hardness is typically between 3 and 8. What are you doing? Are you just curious? Like, what are you doing? Look at those eyes. It's like the perfect Halloween fish. Jet black with orange eyes. Awesome. Which is crazy. Like, that one has orange eyes, but that one has red eyes. And that one tries to eat me anytime I feed him. But anyway, well-planted tanks, lots of coverage, but still lots of swimming space. Now, what do I mean by lots of coverage? I don't mean lots of coverage or lots of coverage. No. Lots of big plants that can sit in the background but still allow an open space in the front for them to swim. You notice how there's no plants up front, and that is so that these guys have plenty of space to move about. Now, price range on these guys can vary. Now, these are black angels, also known as midnight angels. They can go up there. So I've seen some black angels, and this is also going to depend on the size of the angelfish. If they're little tiny ones, you can pick them up for typically about $9 a piece. If they are about this size goes for about $25 a piece. And then when they're full adults, they can be up close to $60 a piece. So it really depends on their size. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I wanted to do something that I really liked as far as one of my favorite fish, and that would be the black angels. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, leave us a comment down below, and hit that like and notification bell. Like I said, it greatly does help out the channel a lot, and we love you guys for your support. You guys are absolutely amazing. With that being said, guys, we will jump out of here and see you next week.